The urgency of writing. What up, family? Welcome to my writer's life. This is Alicia, and writing with urgency. Writing with urgency. Have you ever written like your life depended on it? Like you're running out of time? Like if you don't get this onto the page, you will lose it. This desperation, this hunger, this want, this desire to just be with this piece and get it all out. Because if you don't get it all out and you don't get it all out quickly, you might lose it. Writing with urgency, with a sense of urgency and desperation, is not being careless. It's releasing something that's living inside us that can no longer stay there. When I think about the moments that I have written with tremendous urgency, I immediately go to my memoir. My memoir literally almost killed me. Like truly. I don't have enough time in this meditation to take you through that journey and that process of the urgency. But what I will say is that I wrote over 500 pages in a month. 500 pages, over 584 pages in a month. And so you have to know, and by the way, in that month, I lost 6 chapters of work. So imagine losing about 60 pages of work in the process. Scenes that you've written, chapters that you've written, gone, erased, invisible. Because you're getting it out of your body, you're getting it out of your body, you're getting it out of your body, and you're running and you're running and you're running and you're pushing and you're pushing and you're pushing and you're pushing yourself so hard because you desperately want to get it out and onto the page. And then you lose it. Every word. That day, I swear to God, I was gonna take my computer and throw it out of the window into the street. Like I was furious. Like I wanted to put holes in my walls. I was furious because I was writing the hardest parts of my memoir. And so I made a decision in that moment to slow it down and to think about why I lost those specific moments and memories and scenes and chapters. What was it about? What wasn't I doing that first round? And there's a truth that comes out, a rawness that comes out with urgency. And so let's move. There's an urgency that came with writing that book, my memoir. There was a desperation to tell the story, but when I lost those pages, what I came to realize and understand was that there was a truth that I wasn't getting to. There was a part of the story that I wasn't being honest about. And in those scenes, I needed to revisit, rewrite, relive, refeel all of that shit. To get to the truth, to get to the core of it, to get to the root of it, to get to the pain and darkness of it. And so the urgency in writing, I think, as I look at all of my projects, and I'm surrounded by all of my writing all over my house, I'm missing that. I'm missing that urgency in my writing because life happens. And so I want to go back to those moments where I was incredibly selfish. And the writing was all that was the priority. It wasn't being a mother and cooking. It wasn't even providing. It was the writing. And so urgency, writing with urgency. I know that most of us as writers do not have this cushy life where, we have this wonderful writer's nook and writer's colony and cottage that we can go and get shit done. And that's just not our reality. Many of us work full-time jobs and have lives and families and responsibilities. But there has to be a point where the writing is urgent. Like you have a book deal and you need to have 50,000 words due in like 60 days. Urgent. Like that's the kind of urgency I'm talking about, where you will not get that fucking advance if you don't get it done, And so I'm trying to connect to that spirit of urgency in the writing. I'm calling that forth. I'm calling it because I need it. I need to remind myself how to connect to that writer that is Alicia, right? And I'm getting there. And don't worry, I'll bring you along in the journey and tell you how I'm doing it. I'm not there today, but I'm getting there, and I'm reminding myself that the urgency in my writing is what I'm missing. So let's meditate. Let's take some deep breaths. Let's take some deep breaths. I'm singing in my head. All my life, I pray for someone like you, and I thank God that I finally found you. All my life, I pray for someone like you, and I hope that you feel the same way too. Yeah, that's what. Side note. All right, here's our meditation. Here are our prompts. Yes, and that's Casey and JoJo, just in case you wanted to know who that was. Coming through me right now. If I don't get this story out of my body, the story that keeps coming up for me, and signs that I read on the subway, songs that I hear on the radio, lines that I hear on TV shows, it just keeps, it plays on repeat, this one theme, this one thing. What is that thing? If I don't write this, the story has been written before. What story has been written before? If we worried about the stories that have been written before, no one would sing another fucking love song. Because they've all been written. Every angle, every point of view, every perspective, every pain, every heartache, every breakup, every beginning, every ending. And so the story I must write, the story that is urgent for me, the themes that I want to get out of my body are, make a list. The gifts I possess that'll help me get there is, and my intention for today. Is she pretty? It's her birthday. My intention for today is to get back to my writer's core. I wish that for me. I wish that for you. Peace.